guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a Cindy Kimberly inspired look. I'm just gonna kind of play with makeup, see how it goes. I'll try to make it more Desi girl friendly, try to see what might look better with my features with like golden, olive skin tones. And of course you can kind of play around with different colors and different products, but these are just the ones I'm gonna use. Yeah, so we'll just get right into it. So I will start off with my little Renavith oil. This is a brightening saffron serum oil, and I'm not sure if this is just like skincare that's supposed to help with like brightening and all that. Maybe it is, but I honestly only use it for makeup. I feel like my skin just feels amazingly hydrated when I use this. So I always put this on first, and then I always kind of just go in with my go-to, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream right after. I feel like whenever I use these two products, I tend to have better skin, at least on camera. I feel like it just comes out flawless, and I'm always trying to go for better skin because I have very textured skin, as you can tell, thanks to teenage acne. So yeah, we're gonna go in with that. And then right away, we're gonna go in with my Professional. I know I always use this in every video. I always have a hard time saying those two words. I guess like the inner Desi in me always comes out and I just wanna say video, you know, but yeah. And even though I was born here, I don't know, sometimes that little accent just creeps in, you know? Sometimes you can't even help it. It just happens. Kind of like you want to say aluminum foil, but you always want to say ammonium foil, you know, all that fun stuff. Okay, so I always go in with my Professional. That is just like something I have to have. Of course, you can go in with any primer you have or something you love. I would always say with like your base makeup, once you find something good, just stick with it. Of course, you can experiment and whatever, but I say once something works for you, stay with it. All right, so once that goes in, I'm gonna kind of actually just do this Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray. I kind of want to just see if it helps with the foundation I'm gonna be using. And in true Cheyenne makeup fashion, some chai. And then I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty foundation. This is in 145 Pro Filter Soft Matte. I think this is a little bit lighter for my skin tone than it should be, but we're gonna be bronzing it up today a little because Cindy Kimberly, I don't know if you've seen, has kind of like bronzy skin. So we're gonna be using bronzer, and I really do not like this foundation shade because it is too light for me, but I was like, let's run with it. Oh my gosh, I look like a freaking ghost right now, but we're gonna balance it out with some bronzer, so I promise it won't look as bad, even though it does look probably really bad right now. We really want like a bronzy shade, so I'm gonna kind of just do that and really go for like those brown tones. I sometimes like to mix it up. Sometimes I'll put the foundation first, sometimes I'll put the concealers and stuff first. I'm just gonna kind of lay it on there, and what I'm gonna do is go in with a color corrector and with my paint pot. And I know I'm just like putting liquid on liquid, but for me, this works. I don't know, I just feel like it really does what it needs to do. And I just blend it all out at once and saves me a little bit of hassle. And then I'm gonna go in with my soft paint. Pro Longwear Paint Pot Soft Ochre. And I'm gonna go in with my Wear Beauty brush, which, you know, of course, if it was right now, I would not have, but I had gotten this years before. And I usually have been just mixing my color corrector with this paint pot and using that instead of anything else right now. I haven't really been using concealer as much because the Bobbi Brown color corrector has been really doing its thing. So I haven't really delved back into it, but maybe next time I will use concealer. I really just blend, blend, blend. Sometimes I just blend it on the top too, like.
I know I look kind of like a ghost right now, but yeah, this foundation shade is a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So anytime I use it, I just really have to bronze like crazy.
It is the Rare Beauty bronzer. Again, I'm not a big Rare Beauty fan, only for political reasons now, but I do really like this bronzer. Oh my gosh, I'm never accurate with this, the bronzing that I do, but honestly, I'm gonna put a little bit on my eyelids just for like, that stuff happens too. Yeah. Oh Lord, okay. Don't panic. Don't panic. Life is good. Don't panic. Okay, I'm just gonna blend it out. And then I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender and do that. You know when you think things are gonna go great and it seems like they are, but they're not? Okay. I like to trust the process, so please trust my process. Promise. It's not as bad as it looks right now. Promise. And we're gonna go in with little, stuff at the end. Okay. And now I'm gonna blend the heck out of it because I feel like I'm looking like an Oompa Loompa and less like Cindy Kimberly, but we're gonna trust our process. Oh my gosh. Anyways, you know what? That is life. We will go along with that. Okay, and then I am gonna go in with a little bit of blush. This is the Blush Hope. I'm gonna kind of just place that going this way. I feel like recently for me, oh my God, I have blush on my hair. Oh my God. Okay, am I the only one who has these weird things happen to them, or like, does everybody have weird things happen to them like that? Like, am I just like special in a not so good way with that? Oh, okay. Go in, keep going. Of course, you can kind of tame this stuff out, and you don't have to go as bold, but Kimberly's, or Cindy Kimberly, whatever, her stuff is usually very, you know, out there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna carve this out, and then when I go in, it will look way better than it is right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the eyes, because I feel like I'm already messing up my little base. I'm just gonna kind of blend out that bronzer that we put on there, blend it all out, and I think it looks a little bit like this. And while I do my eye makeup, I'm gonna kind of just go in with this little powder and kind of just put that right there. Like literally drag it. Well, not drag it, like, what is it called? Like going like this. Punch it in, push it in. I don't know, man. I'm so tired. I'm always tired. That's what happens when you have 2 kids under the age of 3. Causing chaos all day. So, there we go. Okay. Okay, I think we can work with that. We can work with that. We can kind of just leave that little powder there. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with our shadow. No. I'm just gonna have to put this powder everywhere because it's all over the place. Haha. Lucky me.
Lucky me! Okay, it's fine. Stuff happens. You just gotta go along with that, yes? I'm just gonna take this powder and just... I'm so not happy with myself right now. But you know what? We are
not gonna beat ourselves over this. We are gonna go along with it and be okay with it. I'm gonna go in with my Tweety Soft Matte eyeshadow from MAC, and I'm kind of just gonna put that all over my lid. I really like the little subtle brown color this has. It looks pretty good. Like, you kind of just need this shadow as an all over shadow if you really want one. I feel like it kind of does what it needs to do, but it's not overpowering. Like, it's good enough for every day, but you can definitely use it more if you like to. Okay, I like that. And then I'm gonna go in with MAC's eyeshadow called Shady Santa. I have been obsessed with this shadow. I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush. This is the Anastasia A14. I'm gonna kind of just do a little bit of a liner look. And then I'm gonna kind of do a small V, like that. Kind of carve it similar to my line right there. So really just use your eyelids as a basis to kind of do that little thing she does. I know there's like a better way to do it, but honestly, like, I think as a mom, that's not always feasible to like do the whole carving out with the concealer and whatnot. So we're gonna kind of make it an easier look. And of course, this is inspired by her. It's not gonna be exactly the same, but I did want that kind of look that she has. So go in with that again, actually. And I think if you have a very good pencil brush, and I think this is an amazing pencil brush, this is the one from Anastasia, I feel like it really makes this carving out deal easier. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, that's okay. You can kind of just do that. Oh my gosh. It probably looks super scary, but I promise we're gonna blend it out. And before we do that, I'm just gonna use the same shadow and use like a flat shader brush. This is the BH Cosmetics 11 brush. I don't even know if this company exists anymore because I got this way back then. And I'm just gonna use this same shadow to kind of create this look. And I'm gonna use the same shadow to kind of create a liner. I'm just going to use this for now, and I think I might go in with like a black liner on top, but very thin, very thin. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom one. Kind of do that. Okay, all right, I think that is good. And then we're gonna go in with like a little fluffy brush and kind of just blend. And you can kind of keep that little line, or you can blend it out. It's totally up to preference. I kind of like to keep it, but also blend it out a little. So in between. So it's like you can kind of see it, but you also cannot see it too much. I'm gonna go in with this brush actually, because I think I went too much on this side, and just blend it out a little. And as you can see, it's a little bit there, like you can tell it's there, but it's not as crazy. Okay, I like that actually. It looks pretty good. And we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna quickly just go in with a little bit of liner, literally right in the middle, and very thin. Just enough to kind of give it that little oomph. And I'm not gonna do a wing or anything because we already did a wing with the shadow. kind of like that. Okay. And then she always has a little bit of gold in the side, so I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of rose gold in the inner corners. She usually always has that, so I'm just going to go in with like a little bit of rose gold shadow from Charlotte Tilbury. And of course, you know, just do what you think is best. It doesn't have to be accurate. The great thing about makeup is, yeah, sure, if there's symmetry and all that, it looks great, but you know, no one's looking that close, so it's all good. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go in with some mascara, but I'm gonna really make the eyes stand out. So we will do that. I'm gonna go in with this mascara. This is the Grande Lash mascara. Oh my gosh. Grande Lash. Okay. All right. That is that. We're gonna let it dry and then we'll go in with the second coat. In the meantime, I'm gonna go in with this YSL Make Me Blush that I just recently got. And it is my first time using it, so I am gonna be just as surprised or not surprised as you. I think she usually does more of a dramatic blush, so I'm gonna go a little bit more. And I also feel like this is kind of lighter for my skin tone, for that like brownie look. So I'm just gonna go in with, I'm gonna do a brush instead of a beauty blender. I'm gonna kind of just give it that pinky look. She usually has like very cute pinky cheeks, bronzy eyes, and nude lips. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna drag it up. I like my cheekbone to kind of really stand out, so I do that. And then I'm just gonna kind of go in with the MAC Studio Fix brush or powder. And I'm gonna kind of just dab it on there to give it that little airbrush look, but also kind of bring out, you know, a little less of that subtleness, like, so it looks not as harsh. And I feel like this is a good trick that works for me, is like if I do too much blush, I'll put a little bit of foundation powder on there and kind of just blend it out. And I feel like it makes it look more airbrushed and flawless, but also keeps that going well. Okay, I think that looks good for blush because I'm gonna go in with a powder blush after. So we'll do that. Sometimes I just lose my thought. Okay, I'm gonna go in with something I haven't used in a really long time. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amazing palette. They released this like, I don't know, like 10 years ago. I probably shouldn't be using this, but it's just one of those classics. Like, if you know, you know. Originally, Amazing was like this girl who had like the most bomb highlighter all the time, and we all wanted to be her. And honestly, I'm gonna look her up. I haven't seen her anywhere in the beauty scene, but she was big, and I was like obsessed with this little highlighter. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of highlighter on here. She usually has more of a matte look, but you know what? I'm just gonna put a little bit of highlighter. And I'm gonna put a little bit of highlighter again underneath. She does have more of that highlighted look in her inner corners. And then, ooh, we're about to get to the fun part, which is basically the lips. I love my lipsticks. It is what gives me life. I'm gonna take off my balm. And before I go in with my lipstick and everything, I'm gonna just take this MAC Studio Fix and kind of carve out what I was saying earlier, kind of carve out that look. And obviously, I think most people know this, but you should always put it down to your neck because you do want to keep blending it. Probably look like a Napoleon or whatever, ice cream, whatever. I'm just not good at pronouncing things. Like, I've accepted that and I'm okay with it. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this big fluffy
252 brush and kind of blend it all in seamlessly, you know.
And then I'm gonna go in and kind of do those lips. I think I'm gonna use the lip liner called Dusty Rose from Anastasia. And then I'm gonna
work on that cupid's bow. Like, if there's one thing you should spend time on, it's definitely the lip liner, I've learned. And your cupid's bow. So I'm going to go in with darker one here. Kind of do as well. No more jumbo that really does. Not sure if it makes a difference, but we're going to do it.
And I think I'm gonna go in with kind of like a brownie lipstick. I'm not sure if they still make this lipstick. It's called Latte from Anastasia. But you can find something similar to that. I just think this would be perfect for her look. Yeah. This is totally her look. Okay, cool. And I think I'm gonna go in with this Patrick Ta blush. It's a little pinky. I think I want to add a little bit more pink back into my face. It's called She's That Girl. And I'm gonna kind of just, I think, take the cream blush and kind of just dab it on. But I think sometimes these Patrick Ta blushes just work better with a beauty blender. The cream ones at least. And I kind of, I'm just gonna dab that back in. Oh yes, that is
That's what I want. Dab it back in, dab it back in. Dab it back in, dab it back in.
That should totally be a song. Dab it back in. Okay. And again, I think there's still some spots that need blending. So I'm gonna keep blending. And then I'm gonna just dramatize my look a little bit. I'm gonna go in with just a slight bit of powder from the same thing. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do my eyelashes again because I really want them to be a little bit more dramatic. And then we will come back and see. And of course you don't have to, but if you want to get more of that doll eye look, you can definitely go in with like a white eyeliner. Or a nude eyeliner. I usually like to do nude because white does look good on our skin, but I feel like sometimes it's just too much. But you can definitely do it if you want more of a dramatic doll eye. I don't want it to be too dramatic. Okay. This is why I hate doing it, because with contacts I just look like worse. So we will do that. What do we think? Does that look okay? I think we'll go in with some setting spray. Okay. We are gonna curl them until these lashes just don't know anything other than curls in their life. That even makes sense. Oh my god, I totally like infected my eye or something by using my eyeliner. I don't know. I just like poked myself or something, but I like it. I like it. I think I'm gonna go in again with some. I'm gonna irritate my eye a little bit more, just a tiny bit. We will leave it at that for now. And what I think I'm gonna do is, I like the lips, but I feel like they need to be just a tiny bit lighter. I think I'm gonna take this YSL blush.
You can totally do this, just put that on there to kind of give it that little, I don't know, look. I guess I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I like that.
It's like it's brown, but not too out there. Yeah, definitely like this. I would open my hair like that. And yeah, this is the final look of, you know, the Cindy Kimberly look. But yeah, this is the look. Let me know what you think. And I think I will go get ready and wear my shalwar kameez and see how it goes. But yeah, I have my suit on. It is Maria B. I think I'm gonna go with something dramatic like this. Like, why not? Why not? Let's be dramatic. I'm gonna wear and kind of, ooh. Gosh, I love being Desi. I love being Pakistani because of all these beautiful jewelry and things like that we have. I'm gonna go in and do my hair like this, kind of, you know, like that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this look. Probably will do, I don't know, should I do my hair like this? No, I feel like I should just leave it open. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. If you like it, if you hate it, which is fine too. And what I can do to improve. But yeah, this is kind of like a Cindy Kimberly look, inspired to make it more Desi oriented. Yeah, and make sure to blend out your stuff because I clearly didn't blend out some places, but we'll do that later. But yeah, let me know what you think.